another review of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Hey. And tonight we're going to conclude this book. We're done reading. We are concluding the review, and in fact, we are technically done because what we are doing tonight is just to review the epilogue of the book, and this epilogue will give us a very brilliant idea on how to pay for a child's college education for only $7,000. Even if you have less than that, right? This story that we're going to review tonight will give you hope that irrespective of the amount of money that you have, whether to pay your child's school fees, to execute a big project, you have to look beyond the money. You just have to put on your cap of financial intelligence and look for ways that you can raise the money or you can multiply whatever amount you have into a substantial amount, something big that will be able to cover your child's fees or to execute the project that you want to execute. All right, so you all are welcome. So again, let me read the title of this epilogue. It says, How to Pay for a Child's College Education for Only $7,000. And here is a practical story. But before we go into that, let me just read the opening sentences into this epilogue. Robert Kiyosaki says that the main reason he wrote this book was to share insights into how increased financial intelligence can be used to solve many of life's common problems. Without financial training, we all too often use the standard formulas to get through life, such as to work hard, to save, to borrow, pay excessive taxes. But today, we need better information. We need a new formula. We cannot always use the old formula and expect something new. So, the story that you're going to listen to tonight is a very good example of a financial problem that confronts many young families today. How do you afford a good education for your children and provide for your own retirement at the same time without allowing one to suffer for the other? So, it is an example of using financial intelligence instead of hard work to achieve the same goal. Sometimes you just have to think, with this amount of money that I have, how can I put it to good use? How can I multiply it? How can I make sure that it is more than enough, or even if it is just enough for what you want to do? So, some years ago in 1991, a friend of his, of Robert Kiyosaki, was really disturbed one day, and he was lamenting on how hard it was to save for his four children's college education. And in order for him to be able to afford his children's education, the four of them, he was now saving $300 every month in a mutual fund. So every month he would put $300 away in a mutual fund. And he expected that in 12 years, he should be able to raise something substantial for his children's education. So at the time of writing this book, of telling this story, or as of this time, not of telling the story, as of the time, as of this 1991, he had actually saved $12,000. And guess what? He had up to $400,000 to save within 12 years that his children would start going to college. Because as of this 1991, his eldest child was just 6 years of age. So I was hoping that by the time this child would be 18, he would have been able to raise enough money. He had 12 years to save $400,000. So, and as of this 1991, the real estate market in Phoenix was really, really terrible. People were giving houses away. Real estate was not doing well at all. But he suggested to this his friend, who also happened to be his classmate, to buy a house with some of the money in his mutual fund. Good enough. His friend accepted the offer, the idea. He embraced this suggestion and was really excited about it. So they went around looking for properties to buy. They looked at a couple of properties. They had fun doing these. They had a variety of properties to pick from, right? And at the end of the day, at the end of 2 weeks, they saw a house that I don't know. They saw a house that was gonna fit all the criteria that they were looking for. And they eventually settled for it. This house had this house was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home in a prime neighborhood. And the owner had just been downsized from work, so he needed to sell this house on this particular day because he had to resume another job in California. So he was really in a hurry to sell. So this owner was gonna sell this same house for $102,000. $102,000, yes. So they made an offer for $79,000 and the owner accepted. Now, all that Robert Kiyosaki's classmates needed to put down as a down payment was $7,000, right? That was the amount that the owner really needed at the time to make up for how much he was owing. He was owing $72,000, so he needed extra $7,000 just to make up. And Robert Kiyosaki's friend dropped the $7,000. Now, this home that he bought, he put it up for rent, and every month after paying mortgage, incurring all expenses, he will still have like $125 to put in his pocket every single month. His plan was to keep this house for 12 years and let the mortgage get paid down faster. So they figured that in 12 years, they will be able to pay off, the mortgage and be raking in $800 per month. And by that time, they will have enough money for this man's children to go to college, and he could also sell off the house if he wanted. In 1994, surprisingly, the real estate market in Phoenix, which was terrible, now started to do well. It changed all of a sudden. And for this same house that he bought for $79,000, he received an offer from the tenant that was living in it, who had come to love the house. This tenant was willing to buy this house for $156,000. This was 3 years after he bought the house. And he asked Robert Kiyosaki, who said, it's a good idea, sell off the house. And they sold it, right? So after paying all that was needed to be paid and things like that, he had $80,000 to operate with. They called a friend in Austin, Texas, and they got a mini storage facility, who was now giving his friend $1,000 every month, right, as income. And he will now put this $1,000 back in his children's mutual fund, you see. So in 1996, 2 years later, this mini warehouse sold for nearly $330,000. Nearly $330,000 from $80,000 in around 1994, right? And the proceeds from the sale was again rolled into a new project that would now throw off another $3,000 in income per month. And now he was confident that his goal of raising $400,000 for his children's college education was easily going to be met. And all it took him to achieve this goal was just to trade with $7,000 in real estate, right? He didn't have to work so hard. Even if he worked so hard, he couldn't have saved that $400,000 in 12 years. But look at the power of financial intelligence. How you can actually use financial intelligence to solve money problems, to solve financial problems. The only way that most people know is to work hard, take extra shifts and all of that. And a lot of people suffer because they don't know how to trade. I'm also learning how to trade, how to invest, and do all of those things based on the knowledge that I'm acquiring from this book and other books that I am reading. And I've come to realize that it is not that hard. Let me go to a place that where the author says money is only an idea. Money is not real. We read about that in a previous chapter. Money is not real. It is only an idea. If you want more money, simply change your thinking. It is all about your mindset. If you see $100,000 as something huge that you cannot afford, that you cannot get, or that it is only through your salary, your 9 to 5 job that you can get it, then you close your mind, you limit yourself, and you may not be able to get that money. Just think. Sometimes all we need to do is a little bit of thinking. How can I get this money? What can I trade? What can I invest? And you should enjoy doing it. He told us that just trade or invest in that which you love. He loved real estate, and he had so much fun trading real estate, looking for houses, properties, get buyers, make an offer, negotiate, and all of that. He enjoyed it. Yours may be something else. Every self-made person started small with an idea, then turned it into something big. The same applies with investing. It takes only a few dollars to start and grow it into something big. And this is actually true, because I have done something like this before and I still do it, right? It takes your mindset. Education and wisdom about money are important. So start early. Teach your children to start early as well. Buy a book, go to a seminar, practice. Start small, don't limit yourself. Robert Kiyosaki, turned $5,000 cash into a $1 million asset, producing $5,000 every month in cash flow in less than 6 years, right? But he started learning as a kid. So he's encouraging us to learn, because it is not that hard. In fact, it is kind of easy once you get a hang of it. Teach your children early. Let them understand this. Thank God for Rich Dad in his life. There's a thank you note in this epilogue, although I still have a few statements to make from the pages that follow, very short statements. But let me read this thank you notes before I move to those statements. He says, "Thank you for reading this book. I hope it has provided some insights into utilizing the power of money to work for you. I hope it has provided some insights into utilizing the power of money to work for you." So money has power. You have to use that to work for you. There is a chapter in this book that says, don't work for money, right? Money is supposed to work for you and me. We are not supposed to work for money all our lives. All right, let me read some few statements from the remaining pages. All of you were given two great gifts. Now this is titled Take Action. Whatever you have read from this book, or you have listened to the reviews and all of that, if you don't take action, then it is of no use, right? So all of you were given two great gifts, your mind and your time. It is up to you to do what you please with both, with your mind and your time. With each dollar bill that enters your hand, you and only you have the power to determine your destiny. Spend it foolishly, you choose to be poor. Spend it on liabilities, you join the middle class. Invest it in your mind and learn how to acquire assets, and you will be choosing wealth as your goal and your future. The choice is yours and only yours. Every day, with every dollar, every pound, every naira, you decide to be rich, poor, or middle class. It is not about the amount. With as little as that $1 bill in your hand, or that 100 naira, or that £1, you decide whether you want to be rich, you want to be middle class, or you want to be poor. Choose to share this knowledge with your children, and you choose to prepare them for the world that awaits. No one else will. You and your children's tomorrow. We wish you great wealth and much happiness with this fabulous gift called life. This is from Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter, his co-author. Now, let me quickly tell us about three kinds of income, so that you know the one to focus more of your attention on. There are three types of income. The number one is earned income. The number two is passive income. The number three is portfolio income. Now, your earned income comes from your salary. When they say to you, go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, that means that once you get that job, what you're going to be getting is earned income, your salary, your wages paid to you by somebody else for working for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month. That is your earned income. Now, his rich dad will say to him, the rich don't work for money, they have their money work for them. Now, this is passive income. Anytime your money is working for you, you don't have to be physically present, you don't have to be actively working, it doesn't take much of your time or your effort. That is your money working for you, and that is passive income. Now, the third one is portfolio income, and this is income that you get from paper assets, like when you buy shares, when you buy stocks, when you buy mutual funds, and all of that. He said that Bill Gates make his money. He became the richest man in the world, not from earned income, but mostly from portfolio income. He invested a lot into shares, stocks, mutual funds, and all of that. So the key to becoming wealthy is the ability to convert earned income into passive income. Even if you have a 9 to 5 job, you shouldn't be spending everything. We've talked extensively about paying yourself first. And we've also talked about this in The Richest Man in Babylon that we read. This idea came from the richest man in Babylon. Paying yourself first. So every time you receive your salary, a part of it should be going into businesses, ventures, and all of these things that will be generating passive income for you. Maybe you want to invest into real estate, you want to open a side business, something like that. There must be passive income that must be coming in. Your 9 to 5 job should never be the only job that you rely upon. It is too risky. Should be able to convert your earned income into passive income, or even portfolio income as quickly as possible, right? And you know what? That's your earned income that you work so hard for is the one that you pay the highest amount of tax on. Your passive income that even requires very little of your effort, even your portfolio, you pay very little taxes on those ones. Can you see the irony? There are 4 different types of people who make up the world of business. Number 1, employee. Number 2 is self-employed. Number 3 is business owner. Number 4 is investor. Most people go to school to learn to be employees or to learn to be self-employed. But you must go beyond this. You must become a business owner. You must become an investor. All a real investor does is convert earned income into passive and portfolio income. And if you know what you're doing, investing is not risky. It is just common sense. The key to financial freedom and great wealth is a person's ability to convert your earned income into passive income and or portfolio income. Don't just focus on your earned income. What if your job is over tomorrow? What if your company is downsizing? What if you're fired? Your employment is terminated? That is why you must be minding your own business. Your business is what will be giving you passive income. Right. Is there any other thing I want to say to you from here? If you want to be rich, you must know what kind of income to work hard for, how to keep it, and how to protect it from loss. That is the key to great wealth. One of the reasons that rich people make money is simply because they have more self-confidence. And they have more self-confidence because they are less afraid of losing. Earned income is money you work for, and passive and portfolio income is money working for you. All right. You are either a master of money or a slave to it. So which one are you? Awaken your financial genius that lies within you. Your genius is waiting to come out. Don't be afraid. Launch out and become rich. Become financially independent, irrespective of your financial status at this time. This book has shown us that it is possible and you can do it. But above all, you need to take action. You need to take action. Start experimenting. And don't forget to teach your children everything that you know about financial intelligence, financial literacy. On this note, we have come to the end of the review of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It has really, really been a jolly ride. You know, this is not a kind of book that one will read once. You have to read it over and over again and again and make good use of the lessons from this book. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining. If you have been joining the review from the beginning, I want to say, woo, well done. You really did a good one. Now it is time to go out there unafraid and do it. Yeah. Thank you so much. God bless you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you're yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. By God's grace, we're going to meet on Monday. We're not meeting on Sunday. We're going to meet on Monday, and then we're going to start with the review of Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. It is going to be another interesting one. Until then, be intentional. Bye. Yes, that's a good one. Thank you, Mr. Kolawole.